Good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to our media partners, law enforcement, first responders, and educators represented here today. Welcome to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Today I have the pleasure and privilege of introducing someone who has always stood shoulder to shoulder with law enforcement, firefighters, paramedics, and educators. She understands the critical role law and order and public safety play in our communities and how vital it is to protect and empower and educate our next generation. She also understands the sacrifices of those who serve in these capacities make each and every day to the Florida communities that they serve. This bill is a nonpartisan bill that exemplifies and reaffirms Senator Moody's steadfast commitment to public safety and education. How fortunate are we to have somebody who is tireless and fearless and will always be that advocate in fighting for all of us in Washington, D.C. Please help me welcome Florida Senator, our Senator, Ashley Moody, to the podium.
Well, thank you so much. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be standing in my home county, Hillsborough County, right here in Florida, to announce my first bill as the newest senator in our amazing country, and representing the state of Florida, the free state of Florida, I should say. Thank you for those who have come near and far to be here to help us make this announcement. I will never forget it. It was a big transition going from Florida's Attorney General to be a United States Senator, certainly one my family is honored to do and step up and serve. It has been about 6 weeks since that announcement and appointment was made, and we have hit the ground running. This is my first event back in my home state of Florida, and certainly I could think of no other topic to be my first act as a United States Senator. This is my very first bill, and that is to support the men and women who have volunteered and sacrificed to serve in these very important roles. And so thank you for being here today to help me make this announcement. As you know, as Attorney General for 6 years and as the wife of a law enforcement officer, a former federal prosecutor, a former judge, supporting the men and women in blue, green, tan, has always been incredibly important, not just to me in my role as Attorney General, but I believe to the stability and success and prosperity of a nation under a rule of law. Without the men and women willing to do these jobs, these dangerous jobs, we do not have a way to live as a free society in a civil society under a rule of law. So this United States of America is the greatest experiment of free men in all time. And without these folks willing to do these jobs, it would never work. And so I am so proud to be here today to say my first bill is the HELPER Act, which is going to help these men and women who volunteer for these jobs be able to afford and buy homes in the communities that they serve and love. We did so many things as AG, whether that was providing resources to recruit new law enforcement or making sure that we were passing good policy that helped them do their jobs and keep them safe. Both are equally important, and we'll keep doing that. You're seeing around the nation where this is not the case, and folks that wear the badge are doing just like other people and moving to Florida to serve. I've said it before, and I will say it time and time again, Florida will always be a law and order state. It is incredibly important, not just for the people living here now, but for the next generation. And you can see that we are bringing great people to the state, and we are delivering on producing that next generation. And before we go any further, I just want to preview the Nesterwitzes. So when when the riots of 2020 happened and so many people around the nation were pulling back not just moral support and enthusiastic support for law enforcement, but many were defunding police. Many were cutting funding for these essential positions and services. And in Florida, as AG, I said, absolutely not. This will never happen in Florida. Thankfully, we had great leaders that said, let's start being proactive in making sure we are fortifying Florida for ever that happening in our state. And so we started building programs for training, resources, making sure we're providing resources to buy new homes, recruitment bonuses, et cetera. And many of them across the nation answered our call. About 7,000 new police officers have answered our call to be Florida heroes. You're going to hear from the Nestorwitzes. I'm going to introduce them now in case they wanted to take little one out. But I have a treat before one of you, in case I lose one of you, I have a treat for you really quick. So they came down from New York. They met in New York. They were on the beat in New York. They answered our call to be Florida heroes. They moved to Florida. And now they have bought their first home and are raising their family as Florida heroes. And I would like to say, as Florida's newest senator, I think this young lady may be a senator in the future as well, with great parents like you. So we have a future senator outfit. And so I see it, I can feel it. Great hero parents like this. I think she's well on her way. So we know it's a lot. I know as a mother with no sleep, and bringing an infant like this to an event like this is a Herculean effort. And so I am honored that the two of you would be here and share her and your experiences with us today. And I wanted to do that just in case you needed to step out. But the Nestorwitzes, like thousands of other officers, have answered our call because they know in Florida we have their back. And so I am proud to say from every state in the nation, people have moved here to be law enforcement officers. We want this, the ability to recruit good men and women, not just to exist here in Florida. We want this now to exist everywhere. Even if you live in a state that may not value service like we do here in Florida, we want folks to know as a country we value you. And that is what the HELPER Act will do. Across the nation, it will allow law enforcement officers to purchase their first homes in the communities they serve, and that is not just going to help them and their families, and certainly we want to support them because they have made the sacrifice to serve. It will help our nation. It will build strength. It will build a blue dome, if you will, around our cities and states and this country to show that we have good men and women of integrity that we support, that will carry out the laws that we, the people, decide we will live under. And so I am excited to announce this act today. We have a long way to go. I am certain this bipartisan bill will attract the support and garner the support of my colleagues in the Senate and on the other side in the House. And I know that everybody behind me here, as well as the national police organizations, the state organizations here in Florida, are excited to start championing this act. As you know, we are seeing instances of bad policies being passed in other states around this nation. We think this is only going to attract more officers to great states like Florida. In fact, I would say right now, the state of Florida has leaders that will have your back and will continue to support policies like the HELPER Act to support the men and women in law enforcement. So if you are tired of living in a place where leaders do not support you, do not offer you the resources you need, or most importantly, the policies you need to be safe and carry out effectively your job, consider moving to Florida. It's a great state, great weather, no income tax, and lots of men and women that support and appreciate those that selflessly wear the badge every day. So without further ado, I cannot believe you calmed that baby down. I think they might give all of parents some tips when they're up here. Without further ado, I would like to call up Sheriff Billy Woods, a great friend of mine from Marion County. Come on up.
Thank you, Senator. First of all, I am a little nervous because, as most of y'all know, I'm not the quiet type. So this little one to my left, as a sheriff, I'm terrified right now. But it is an absolute honor to be standing here before these cameras and before my fellow colleagues, my fellow sheriffs, the chiefs, and everyone else to stand here and say that Ashley Moody is a cut above. You know, we sheriffs, on behalf of Sheriff Promell, the Florida Sheriff's Association, we all recognize the work in which she has done over the years. I can remember the first time that I met her. It was in an office in the city of Ocala with Mayor Kent Gwynn and her aspirations of becoming the AG of this great state. And she got it. And everything she told me that day and everything her goals and missions were, she accomplished. Without hesitation, taking that step forward, leading, and everything. From Back the Blue campaign of the awards that she has given and recognized law enforcement, to the Thin Blue Line Act that she supported, many things in the fight of fentanyl that she stood up and did and is doing. Also helping in law enforcement was her initiatives and her forward thinking of the mental health for us and first responders, of giving the stress, knowing the stress from her own husband, what we go through each and every single day. You know, the HELPERS Act, in which she is obviously taking the charge, which is no surprise whatsoever. It's no secret that we in law enforcement for the last decade have struggled in hiring, retaining, and ensuring that we have qualified individuals in this state. Now, I'm going to make it abundantly clear to the viewers on these cameras. The state of Florida is a cut above when it comes to law enforcement. There is none. I don't care what any other of the 49 states say. Florida is the best. We're the best because we have legislators, we have cabinets, and we have a governor like Ashley Moody, who is the AG and now the senator for the state of Florida, who knows what needs to be done for us to ensure that we hire and retain individuals in this state that protect their citizens every single day. Now, she will protect, not only through law enforcement, but she would protect Floridians in many initiatives that I know for a fact that she is going to do. She stands behind it. You know, I get the honor and the privilege to sometimes introduce her when she's come into Marion County. Typically, she requires me to wear my cowboy hat, which I do not have today. It's in the truck. But I always introduce and I tell about everything she does. And let me tell you what I see as Billy Woods. You know, individuals in this world, you have missions, you have things that you do, and they just do it because it's on a piece of paper or somebody said, hey, I think it's a good idea. From Senator Moody, it comes from the heart. And when it comes from the heart, it comes from the inner soul of a human being and makes it even greater of what they're about to accomplish. But when I introduced her, I always, and always will, call her a friend, but not the truth, but the fact. She's more than a friend. Because it kind of clicked yesterday when I was preparing for today. She's actually family. Because she's in this law enforcement world family. Senator Moody is our family. That's why we sheriffs are always proud to stand behind her and stand before these cameras and tell you the great things that she is doing and is going to do and how great this act is. I'm proud of my sister, proud of her accomplishments. Now, as the president of the Florida Deputy Sheriff's Association, I want to say thank you from all of our sheriffs, men and women, of the act like this that helps them survive and be greater than what they are and be greater in the years to come. So from us sheriffs, my fellow sheriffs, and myself, Senator, we say thank you, and we all love you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Charlie Vasquez, and it's my honor to serve as the Chief of Police of the Tampa International Airport Police Department. Additionally, I have the privilege of being the president of the Florida Police Chiefs Association. As president of FPCA, I'm proud to stand here alongside some of the most dedicated law enforcement leaders in our state. I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation to Sheriff Chronister for his generous hospitality in hosting this event, as he has done for many other events in the past. In fact, I was here yesterday. Thank you, Sheriff. Throughout her distinguished career in public service, including 6 years as Attorney General of Florida and now United States Senator, Ashley Moody has consistently demonstrated her unwavering support for law enforcement. And by extension, she has shown she's a steadfast ally to all the law-abiding citizens in the state of Florida. Among her many accomplishments is the establishment of the highly regarded Be a Florida Hero program. It provides financial assistance for education, training, and relocation to those pursuing careers in law enforcement within the state of Florida. And as the Chief of Police, I can personally attest to the program's impact. It is enabling me to hire several exceptional officers from out of state who are seeking a supportive public service environment that values their contributions the way Florida does. Now serving at the federal level, Senator Moody is championing support for first responders through her bipartisan sponsorship of the Homes for Every Local Protector, Educator, and Responder Act of 2025, also known as the HELPER Act. This important legislation aims to make homeownership more accessible to our public servants, including teachers, firefighters, and police officers. Those who dedicate their life to public service don't do it for financial gain, trust me on that. In fact, they often make significant financial sacrifices to fulfill these roles. The HELPER Act seeks to fill that gap, seeks to alleviate some of those burdens by providing financial assistance, lowering down payments, and reducing mortgage insurance costs. As law enforcement leaders here know, recruiting qualified and enthusiastic individuals have become increasingly difficult in recent years. The HELPER Act will provide essential incentives for service, enhance stability and community connections, broaden our talent pool, and improve the quality of life for those who choose a life of service. Senator Moody, on behalf of the Florida Police Chiefs Association, I extend my deepest gratitude to your ongoing commitment to supporting those who support our communities. Thank you.
First, I just want to say thank you, Senator Moody, for inviting my family here today. Oh, my goodness. I've heard the senator say it before, and personally, I can say it's true. Florida is the most pro-law enforcement state in the nation. The support that my husband and I received when we first moved here from New York was like nowhere else, and the continued support that we receive from now Senator Moody means the absolute world, not just to my immediate family, but my larger law enforcement family as a whole. Having recently bought a home here in Florida, I can say that the HELPER Act would have been an extremely helpful benefit, and although we're not able to take advantage of it since we've already purchased our home, we're super excited for our fellow officers to take advantage of this and have home buying assistance in the future. A few weeks ago, I was in a recovery room after giving birth to my beautiful daughter Isabel, and I would not think that I'd be in front of all of you speaking here today, but I'm extremely happy to be here, and I'm even more happy to be raising my family in a state where we have leaders like Senator Moody who support our law enforcement. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and I was very touched by the remarks that you guys made today. Thank you so much. And this is my first bill as a United States Senator. It's so great to announce it in my home county of Hillsborough County. But in no way, shape, or form is this bill about me. It is about every single person who chose their professional career to be protecting others. That takes an incredibly selfless, special person. And if we are going to continue as the greatest country on earth, the United States of America, we cannot in any way, shape, or form let slip our support for the men and women who signed up for law enforcement. So from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you to each and every one of you that wear the badge, that chose to do that, to put your safety behind that of others. This country is what it is because of you, and all of us on this stage will never stop fighting to make sure you have everything that you need to do these essential, important jobs.